Today, we're going to talk about something that every photographer totally loves when it happens to you, getting ghosted. Ooh, no, not that kind of ghosted, like when people totally bail on you. We're talking about getting ghosted. What's up, y'all? Welcome to Monday Magic. My name's Rob Green. I'm a photographer and educator based out of Fort Worth, Texas, and each week I'm here to give you tips, tricks, and inspiration to help you build your business, wow your clients, and make photo magic. And today I want to talk to you about one of those things that it's happened to all of us at some point or another in our business. Getting ghosted by a client. Nobody likes getting ghosted. Nobody likes when you pour your heart and soul into that email or that conversation or that call, and then you think you've made this connection and all of a sudden crickets, right? Nobody likes that, but it seems to happen a lot. And so today I want to talk about how to avoid getting ghosted by your clients, especially wedding clients, because I know that's the one where there's the most at stake for us as photographers. That's the one where it seems to happen the most often. So we're going to talk about how to avoid getting ghosted. And to start with, I want to talk about one thing that I really recommend you not do to avoid getting ghosted. Don't hop on social media and shame your clients or prospective clients. Nobody wants to be shamed, right? I've seen this happen on social media, especially with the advent of like TikTok and Reels. Photographers will come up with these videos or posts that they think, oh, that's gonna be cute and that's gonna be funny and people can relate. And yes, other photographers can relate to getting ghosted. But couples don't want to get called out and shamed for ghosting you. There's a few things you gotta understand. It's not a bride's responsibility or requirement that they respond to you after you have a meeting or after you send them an email. Would it be nice? Yes. Would it be courteous? Yes. But is it their responsibility? Absolutely not. They don't owe you anything. So if you're somebody and you're struggling today and you're going, I'm having a tough time getting ghosted often by prospective clients, just know that has less to do with the bride or the client and more to do with your processes. And so today I want to hit on a few things that will help shore up your processes so that you get ghosted less and less often. I very rarely get ghosted these days by clients, and when I do, it's usually clients that I wouldn't want to work with anyway, which is like, that's okay. If those kind of clients are ghosting you, that's not a big deal. So here we go, my tips and tricks on how to not get ghosted by clients. The first thing is this: stop giving out your pricing information. Here's why I say that. Most couples will think, because they're making a sea of decisions, there's all these quotes and dollar signs and estimates and numbers being thrown at them all at once, they will tend to think that if they have your pricing information, they have all the information they need to know about you. Which, if you're the lowest priced photographer in town, that may be to your advantage. And so in that case, sure, by all means, go ahead and give them your pricing information. If you know that you are doing the work of a $5,000 wedding photographer and you are charging $1,200, it's probably to your advantage at that point to go ahead and tell people you charge $1,200. But if you are not in that price range, if you are pricing more in the mid to upper tiers of the pricing spectrum, I would encourage you not to share your pricing in full on your website or in some sort of bridal pricing brochure. And here's why I say that. Because if you are moving into those upper tiers of pricing with your photography, you are starting to develop a wedding service that goes beyond just the photos that you take. It goes beyond something that can be discovered just by looking through images on your website or your social media feed. It definitely goes beyond a number on a page that you're quoting them for the price of working with you. And the last thing you want to do is have a couple line up your price versus Johnny's price versus Betty's price versus Sally's price. I have no idea where I'm pulling these names from. I've never actually met a photographer named Johnny, Betty, or Sally. If you are named that, please shoot me a message. Let me know. I would love to know that you're a photographer named Johnny, Betty, or Sally. But my point is, if you are charging in these upper tiers, you don't want to just have somebody line your price up against 3 other people's prices when you know good and well the process you take your couples through is not going to be the same as Johnny's or Betty's or Sally's. or Sally's. Your images may look similar to theirs, but the way you care for them, the way you communicate with them, the way you educate them, the way you serve them from start to finish while you're working with them, from the time they book all the way through their, first anniversary and beyond, for you, that's an experience that can't be told just in an image. You need to give them the opportunity to hear that from you and see that from you in a conversation. And so that's why I say, don't show your pricing in full up front. Now, you can send your starting price if you like, but I would only recommend doing that if you are just swimming in so many leads that you need people to start self-selecting out because they don't fit your price range. But more often than not, what I have found is people are struggling to get leads coming in the door, and you're eliminating the opportunity to have conversations with people by showing a pricing that may or may not be a deterrent to them, and it may or may not be something where they think, I've got all the information that I need to know. That brings me to point number 2. You want to get your couples on a call or face-to-face over coffee. But I say on a call because in today's era, Zoom has become king for these things. And it's great because it's convenient. You can do it from your home. They can do it from their home. You don't have to get out, fight traffic, get dressed up. You can just have a nice casual conversation over a Zoom call. And so what I would suggest is start making sure that you're getting couples on a call. Now, this is, again, why I say it's valuable to not give away all your information up front in terms of pricing, because you want that to be part of what they discover on the call with you. And you think, Rob, I don't want to do that because what if we get to the end of the call and we find out I'm not in their budget? Valid question, valid concern. Let me share with you my experience in this. Over and over again, I have had conversations with couples who will come back to me and say, Rob, when we hopped on this call, we had a budget in X price range. But that's because that's what Wedding Wire told us, or that's what The Knot told us, or that's what whatever other wedding website told us we should budget for photography. But now, after talking with you, we realize there's a value that goes far beyond that, and so we actually plan to raise our budget. I have had couples more than double their budget for photography simply because we had a conversation, and where they would have self-selected out because they would have thought, oh, that's not in the budget that X site told us to budget for this. Now they got to hop on a call with me, hear and experience the value of us working together, and that allowed them to reframe their entire budget for their wedding photos simply because we connected over a call. So be sure your process allows you time and opportunity to get as many people as you want to possibly get in front of you on a call and have those conversations. What do you do when you get them on the call? 2 things. You, number 1, want to get a picture of their vision for their wedding photos. You want to listen closely and understand all the things that matter to them. You want to understand what gets them excited about the kind of photos that they would do anything to have, and the kind of experience they would do anything to have. And once you've done that, then you want to take time and cast your vision for what the ultimate wedding experience could be. So if you've heard their vision and you know it matches what you do, and you've shared that vision and they hear how what you do matches what they do, there is a much greater chance that they are going to be inclined to want to work together than if they just looked at a number on a page and said, well, that one's $400 more than that one, and that one's $300 less than that one. Let's go with the one in the middle. The third thing you want to do is you want to give your couples permission to not hire you. Whoa, Rob, what did you just say? Yes, you heard me right. If you're multitasking, come on back to me because you don't want to miss this. I want you to give your couples permission not to hire you. What I mean by that is you need to make sure they understand it is not the end of the world for them, and it is not offensive to you if they, even after this nice conversation you've had, choose to go another direction. This may feel counterintuitive. This may feel like reverse psychology or something. Honestly, you need to make sure, this is honestly a great heart check. This one and the next thing we're going to talk about are great heart checks because it checks our motivation for why we're doing this. If you're in this just to make a buck, then it's always going to bother you anytime a client says no or turns away. But if your heart for your couples is really that they find the perfect fit for them for their wedding day, then it is perfectly okay for them to not hire you. And they need to understand that you are not so desperate and hard up for cash that you just have to have them book you right then and there on the spot. Don't do it. It sounds desperate. It sounds just like you need them. You don't need them. You need to connect with clients who are thrilled to work with you. And they need to connect with the photographer that is perfect for their wedding photos and gonna make their photos everything they dreamed of. Hopefully that's you, right? You're not saying don't work with me. You're just saying, hey, it's okay if we don't wind up working together. They already know they need to, that they don't have to work with you by hopping on the call, but you wanna make sure they understand that you know that too. Fourth, you want to ask your couples, and this is clutch, you want to ask your couples to let you know what they decide one way or the other. Most couples, most people in general, don't like delivering bad news, especially people that have already taken an hour out of their day to sit down and meet with them and talk with them, getting nothing in return. Like, nobody likes to be that person that's breaking bad news to somebody going, hey, by the way, I know you just spent an hour talking to me and you were so excited to work together, but we're gonna go another direction. Like, that's an awkward conversation for people to have. And so most couples aren't trying to be rude or snotty. Honestly, most couples just are excited about who they've chosen to go with, and the thought, with all the sea of things that they have going on, the thought of taking time to craft a sorry, but we didn't choose you email, that's just a lot you're asking of them. And it's not something, like, when they do it, it's great. It's so courteous of them when they do it, but you shouldn't expect that to just happen organically on its own. If you want to see it happen, ask for it. Let them know you would like to hear from them. And here's how I word that. I say, hey, listen, I've had a great time talking with you today. And just so you know, I would love to hear who you guys wind up going with. If it's me, amazing. I look forward to working together. If not, that's okay too. I want to celebrate with you because, guys, I'm telling you, at the end of the day, it's most important for me that you find the perfect wedding photographer for you, and not just that you work with me. Like, I've done too many of these to think that it's like worth it to just partner with somebody for the money. If I'm not the perfect fit for you, please hire somebody else that is. I would love to see you find the perfect fit for you and would love to celebrate with you when that happens. So shoot me an email, even if you go with somebody else, and just let me know. It won't be bad news to me at all. I'll be thrilled for you. See, just in doing that, and by freeing them up, I've now eliminated the idea that that email is somehow dropping bad news in my lap. Now they're sharing exciting news with me that I can celebrate with them in. Y'all, I'm telling you, not only do I know this works, but I've literally had multiple couples come back and say, hey, we decided to go another direction, but we'd love to take you to dinner, and just as a thank you for the time that you spent with us. It was so valuable for us. I've also had couples literally invite me to their wedding just as a guest, because in that 1 hour that we spent together, they had such a great time and we've developed such a great connection. So that's the kind of freedom you want to give your couples at the end of this process, to let them know, if you tell me no, it's not bad news to me, it's actually exciting news, and I'm thrilled because you found your dream photographer. And finally, the last thing you want to do is you want to ask this question. If I haven't heard from you in a few days, would it be all right if I sent you a follow-up message? Or you can say call or email, whatever is your workflow. But the point is, go ahead and set the expectation that there will be a follow-up. Now, if the couple says no, you know they're probably not gonna book anyway, and you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to sit there waiting to see, has the email come in yet? What's gonna happen? If they say no, don't follow up with us, chances are they're not planning to move forward with you. On the other hand, if they're like, oh yes, please do, now you know if they don't respond, it's because something happened, they got busy, something with life and wedding planning is going on, and you don't have to sweat it. You don't have to feel bad or like you're badgering or pressuring or harassing anybody. You're just reaching out like you discussed that you would to have that follow-up. I've never asked that question, had somebody say yes, and then followed up a few days later and not gotten a really quick response from them. So those are my tips on how to avoid getting ghosted. First, stop showing your pricing info. Second, get them on a call so you can have a conversation. Third, give them permission to not hire you. Fourth, Ask them to share with you either way what they wind up deciding, and make sure they know it's going to be great news even if they don't go with you. And then finally, last but not least, ask if it's okay to follow up in a few days if you haven't heard from them. Try these out. I guarantee you this is going to greatly decrease your rate of getting ghosted and up the quality of people you are working with and the caliber of responses that you're getting after you meet with them. I hope these tips have been helpful for you. If you're struggling to get leads even coming in the door, one of the things I would highly recommend checking out is working with college grads. You wind up working with these girls right before they get engaged by taking their senior photos. They do them with some of their best friends, and you wind up working with a girl and her bridesmaids right before they become a bride and bridesmaids. It's an amazing opportunity if you're like, I don't even know how to get started with that. I've actually got a free 5-day mini course that's gonna be coming up in a few weeks. You can jump on the list to be notified as soon as that goes live. So if you wanna do that, I've put the link below this video so that you can check that out. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back next time with more tips and tricks and inspiration to help you build your business, wow your clients, and make photo magic. Have a great week, y'all.